Nothing big.
I'd like to call this meeting, the Herkimer County Legislature quarterly meeting to order, and ask our Assistant District Attorney Jeff Carpenter to lead the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I should say standing for a moment of silence for our veterans. Thank you. We'll have Mrs. Lalonde, our clerk, call the roll, please.
Hartman.
Here.
Rose. Schrader.
Here.
Manine. Johnson.
Here.
Hendricks. Hyde.
Here.
Brzezinski.
Here.
Dano.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Bono.
Here.
Ackerman.
Here.
Kaplinsky.
Here.
Corse.
Here.
Russell.
Here.
Shaw.
Here.
Weekly.
Here. Pursuant to Rule 8, are there any objections or corrections to the minutes of the September 12th meeting? If there are none, then I'll order them approved. Reading in full of claims disallowed by the auditor and presented for audit by the legislature. And if nothing, yes. We'll dispense with the regular session to allow for a presentation of proclamation by legislators. Mr. Smith, would you come up, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This afternoon it's my honor and privilege to present a proclamation concerning domestic violence. It is both a crime and a condition in this country that we cannot live with. It is my privilege to present these proclamations to Jackie Ward and Jeff Carpenter. These people deal directly with domestic violence. The proclamation states that domestic violence is a crime and deep-rooted social problem with enormous and tragic consequences for abused individuals, children, and families. And domestic violence is an abusive behavioral pattern of corrective tactics which can include physiological, sexual, economic, emotional abuse perpetrated by one person against a family, a household member, with a goal of establishing and maintaining power and control over its victims. And whereas the domestic violence takes many different forms and includes behavioral such as threats, name-calling, preventive contact with family and friends, withholding money, actual or threatening physical harm, and sexual assault. Whereas each year in New York State, our police receive over 400,000 calls to help victims of domestic violence. More than 15,000 individuals stay in emergency shelters each year, and there are 73 intimate partner homicides in the state. The vast majority of these are women. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides a unique opportunity for shining the light on domestic violence and turn New York State purple, now therefore be it resolved that I, Vincent J. Bono, Chairman of the Herkimer County Legislature, do deem it fitting and appropriate to proclaim October 2012 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Herkimer County, and October 17th, 2012 as a Shine the Light on Domestic Violence Day and turn New York State purple. This proclamation is given under my hand and great seal of the County of Herkimer, New York, in the year of our Lord, 2012. Vincent J. Bono, Chairman of the Herkimer County Legislature.
Sure. I would just like to say thank you. I love seeing all the purple in the room today. For those that aren't aware of how much that we actually cover and do in the county, I'm just going to tell you briefly. We offer non-residential and residential domestic violence services throughout the county. During program year 2011, we received almost 1,300 calls to our 24-hour hotline. We opened 150 new cases, that's not counting our ongoing cases. And we had approximately 42 women and children stay in our safe dwelling within the county. We're busy all the time, and we always try to raise awareness, so I certainly appreciate being recognized here tonight and receiving the proclamation for our program and what we do in the county. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I too am grateful for this award, and I congratulate Jackie really, because Catholic Charities really has stepped up in Herkimer County as the lead agency that we turn to when we have issues dealing with domestic violence, and most notably the safe house that they provide, a safe location for predominantly women in this county and children who are the victims. So on behalf of the District Attorney's Office, I'm grateful to receive this, and I dedicate this to the victims of domestic violence.
Thank you both. Very important issue, and again, October 17th, you'll notice the county buildings will be lit up in a purple hue in recognition of the victims of domestic violence. Thank you. So we'll move along. We have comment period by residents, and there's no one signed up, so we'll go ahead with the agenda. Communications received by the legislature and the committees to which they have been referred are listed on the agenda. Does any member of the legislature request a mention of any particular communication? Mrs. Rose.
Communication number 324, sir, please.
Yes, 324.
This is from Gregory O'Keefe, Director of Public Health. I present a suggested timeline for implementing staffing changes approved by the Human Resources Committee in June 2012 and approved at 9/26. Let's see, the committee should establish a date of November 1st for closure of the Certified Home Health Agency and long-term home health care program, as patients and families must receive 30-day notice of closure and further care options. May the committee authorize the CHA long-term home health care issue notice of closure on November 1, that these personnel changes be implemented. Eliminate title of senior RN and 2 current budgeted positions on December 1st. Eliminate clerk and establish account clerk, with elimination of clerk position to occur when account clerk position is filled. Create a position of Assistant Director of Public Health. Begin process of selection of suitable candidate for start date of 1/1/2013. On that date, the Assistant Director of Public Health position is filled. The committee authorized the elimination of the Director of Patient Services and Supervisory Community Health Nurse position. Establish salary of Assistant Director of Public Health $50,000 and eliminate Office Assistant 1 position as of 12/31/2012. Sincerely, Gregory O'Keefe, MD. Thank you.
Any other communication? Mr. Smith.
I'll take Dennis's thing away from you. 309.
This is a notice of claim, Noreen Randall and Charles Randall versus Herkimer County.
Any others? Moving along on the agenda, pursuant to Rule 6, number 8, report of standing committees. I'll ask any chairman if they wish to speak on progress of the committee. Mr. Russell?
Mr. Chairman, as most of you know, the budgetary process has started. And initially, the funding that's been asked for and indicated by other agencies within our government. We're looking at a 9% increase. Obviously, the Ways and Means Committee and the members of the legislature, as well as our administration, are looking at ways of trying to reduce that number. And we won't know for a few more weeks, but as soon as we do know, obviously we'll pass them along. But I encourage anybody who wants to come to the budget meetings, they're Friday mornings starting at 9:30.
Anyone else? Any other chairperson? All right, we'll move on. We'll continue with the consent agenda. Will the clerk please read the title of each resolution on the consent agenda?
222 is Human Resources, Ways and Means, amending Resolution 78 and 115 in connection with contracts for at-risk youth services. 223 is Human Resources, confirming appointments and reappointments to the Office for Aging Advisory Council. And 224 is Ways and Means, transferring funds.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion. Mr. Hyde, second by Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. The resolutions will pass. We'll now go to the resolutions on the regular agenda, starting with number 225.
The Ways and Means Committee regarding introductory local law 2 for 2012.
This resolution adopts introductory local law number 2 for 2012 to impose a mortgage recording tax within the county of Herkimer. And this is a roll call. Any motion by Mr. Russell, second by Mr. Smith. Any debate?
Just to note, there was no appearances and no objections.
Duly noted.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Cordes.
I don't believe that this is, what, the second or third time we've renewed this? I think the second, and it's every 2 years we have to ask the state. But, and that's what we're doing now. But this takes between $400,000 and $500,000 off the tax levy we have to come up with property tax. And I remember when this was implemented, we felt it was a fair way to raise revenue than the clean on the property tax. So that's where the origin of this came from.
Thank you, Mr. Cordes. Anyone else? Debate? Clerk will call the roll.
Kuzinski.
Yes.
Vano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Kaplinsky.
Yes.
Force.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Weekly.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Resolution 225 passes. 226.
Human Resources, Ways and Means authorizing agreement for services of a dietitian in the Office for Aging.
This resolution authorizes an agreement for services of a dietitian for Herkimer County Office of the Aging. May I have a motion? Mr. Poplinski, second. By Mr. Shaw. Any debate? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Resolution will pass. Number 227.
Ways and Means approving contract for third-party claims administration of the former self-insurance and standalone plan.
This resolution extends the agreement with Benetech, Inc. for third-party administrative services to the former self-insurance plan and the county's standalone coverage. May I have a motion? Mr. Russell, second. By Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 228.
Human Resources, Ways and Means concerning contract for coordination provision of non-emergency Medicaid transportation.
This resolution authorizes a contract extension with Bernie Bus Service for the provision of coordinated non-emergency Medicaid transportation services. May I have a motion? Mr. Smith, second. By Mr. Shaw, Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? Mr. Hartman.
I would just like to, if I may, ask the attorney whether we're comfortable with this and doesn't have to go to the committee.
I wasn't aware of it until this afternoon. I've taken a preliminary look at it, and I don't have an answer yet.
I guess, should we vote on it in that case? I would be uncomfortable with it.
Mr.
Well, the contract extension says it's from, on a month-to-month basis. And I think that this is certainly a program that we need. And my understanding is that part of the problem is, and Mr. Wallace can clarify if I'm wrong, is that this is one of the times where we don't get paid in time to be able to we don't get enough money from the state in time to be able to make this work. Is that a correct statement, or?
Well, what's going to happen is the state's proposing, like they are several of our services, Mr. Russell, to take over certain services. This is one of the services they're talking about taking over. However, Mr. Commissioner Seymour and myself, Mr. Decker have talked about this. When that happens and how that happens, we're not sure. It's supposed to be in February or March. Our contract runs out in January with Bernie Bus. So we thought it was cost effective to move forward with several other counties around us have done the same kind of thing, to go on a month-to-month basis up to 6 months, to go out at a no-cost extension. So that's what we're trying to do is save the county taxpayers dollars. There would be an option of possibly approving this subject to the county attorney's approval with an amendment to allow us to go to bid immediately if he finds that it wasn't legal to do so. And that's just popped in my head after we got the email.
I was thinking about a motion to table this, because we do meet again in the month of October. I don't know how long it would take the attorney to research this. I have no problem with what Mr. Wallace has indicated. If somehow there's an amendment to this resolution to qualify it, that it's pending the approval of the county attorney, that it conforms to required purchasing policy, and if it should be deemed by the county attorney not to conform, that we authorize, because they can go bid without us authorizing it, but then we authorize.
Well, we've always authorized bids. We
All right,
don't
then-
authorize RFPs, but we try to authorize all bids.
Then if I might, I would offer, I was going to suggest tabling it, but I would offer the amendment to this resolution that this contract extension go forward only with the approval of the county attorney, that it meets the required purchasing practice, and should it not meet the practice, then our purchasing department would be directed to secure appropriate bids.
Motion has been made, second by Mr. Hartman. Any debate? All those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? The amendment will pass. We'll vote on the, continue with the, Mr. Torres.
Could we have our commissioner tell us what non-emergency Medicaid transportation is, and roughly how much of it's reimbursed by state and federal resources?
Sure, I'll allow. Mr. Seymour?
Certainly. Non-emergency Medicaid transportation could be any doctor's appointment. As someone who's eligible for Medicaid, takes physicals, anything at all. Anything that doesn't involve a trip to an emergency room.
And reimbursement?
Reimbursement's 100% as of this conversation.
Thank you.
Glad you had that.
Any more debate? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill pass. 229.
Human Resources, Ways and Means, amending Resolution 217 and 211, in connection with contracts for our Healthy Families Program.
This resolution amends resolution number 217 of 2011 in connection with the contracted additional expenses for the Healthy Families Program. May I have a motion? Mr. Shaw, second. Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 230.
Ways and Means, authorizing contract with Real Property Tax Service Agency.
This resolution authorizes a contract from the Real Property Tax Service Agency for assistance and training in the preparation of 2013 tax levy. May I have a motion? Mr. Russell, second. By Mr. Poplinski, Mr. Hyde. Any debate? Mrs. Rose.
Mr. Chairman, when this was presented at Ways and Means, I was president of the committee, and Mrs. Barbuto retired from here and has a wealth of experience to offer the effort. I have been a critic of us bringing back retired people, former employees, when a department hasn't been adequately trained. In this particular case, we've been assured by the director of the Real Property Tax Service Office that training is rounding out, and Mrs. Barbuto will be bringing extra expertise to aid in that training, as well as special skills right now. So I'm here to support this.
Any more debate? All those, Mr. Mayor.
I'm going to abstain because I'm related to Mr. Barbuto.
Noted. Any other? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Abstain.
231.
Public Safety Emergency Management, Ways and Means, accepting proposal for consolidation study of fire and EMS.
This resolution authorizes an agreement with Summit Lake Consulting to conduct a consolidation study of 6 fire and EMS services in Herkimer County. May I have a motion? Mr. Hyde, second by Mr. Ackerman. Debate.
Point of order. Has this come before the Public Safety Committee? It did? I don't recall it.
It came before a committee.
It did, but I don't recall it coming before public safety.
Public safety, probably 3 or 4 months ago, don't hold me to exactly.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Several
fine.
months ago. And then recently it came to Ways and
I
Means.
knew it was Ways and Means, I don't recall it at public safety. Thank you.
Any more debate?
Can we understand what it's going to do? to the public?
This is I believe 5 or 6 municipalities throughout the canal corridor, you know, from Frankfurt to, I believe it's Ilion, Mohawk, German Flats, Little Falls, East Herkimer, and there was maybe one other in there. That applied for a grant, they received it, and it's to study the consolidation of the fire and EMS services throughout the valley. So it's a step in a good direction. Any more debate? All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 232.
Human Resources, Ways and Means, accepting grant and authorizing contract in the Department of Social Services.
This resolution authorizes an agreement with Catholic Charities in connection with the provision of non-residential domestic violence services for the Department of Social Services. May I have a motion? Mr. Smith. Second by Mr. Hyatt. Any debate? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 234 is a roll call. I'm sorry, 233. Voice vote.
Human Resources, Ways and Means, amending budget in connection with additional revenue for Office for Aging.
This resolution amends the budget in connection with additional revenue received for the provision of noontime meals in the Office of the Aging. May I have a motion? Mr. Shaw, second. Mr. Smith, any debate? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 234.
Ways and Means appropriating funds from contingency.
This resolution appropriates the sums as listed for the contingency fund. May I have a motion? Mr. Russell, second by Mr. Poplinski. Mr. Russell, debate.
I ask for unanimous consent on this, and then ask for moving for adoption.
Unanimous consent was asked for, second? We need a second. No, that's good. Any objection? Okay. Any debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm sorry, it's roll call. Will, clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Rose?
Yes.
Schrader?
Yes.
Benny? Oh, sorry, Schrader. Johnson?
Yes.
Hyde?
Yes.
Brzezinski?
Yes.
Mano?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Bono?
Yes.
Ackerman?
Yes.
Kaplinski?
Yes.
Horst?
Yes.
Russell?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Weekly?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
And resolution passes. 235.
Human Resources, Ways and Means, authorizing closure of Herkimer County Certified Home Health Agency and long-term care.
This resolution approves the closure of certified home health and long-term care agency effective December 1st, 2012. Any motion? Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? Mrs. Rose.
This has been going on for so long, probably, I don't know, I guess 3 years, maybe, is it, that we had a variety of providers came in to talk about buying the home care license that Herkimer County had, which was a very marketable piece of agreement, licensing at the time, that the at-home care agency, part of Bassett, was going to buy it from us. Various agreements were put in place, and then the state of New York, as I recall, had a subcommittee in the Department of Health that ruled that those licenses weren't really worth much to us anymore, and that we've been told that at-home care, or Bassett, is still going to honor an agreement of $150,000 to Herkimer County. I look forward to seeing that money come. I'm disappointed that the Certified Home Health Agency is closing, the long-term care agency is closing. I think that from the time I came on this legislature, there was a lot of conversation about our inability to recruit and retain nurses, to have it be a viable program, whether it could have been a lucrative program, at least a self-sustaining program. The horse is out of the barn, the gates are closed. It has shown itself now that it's been taken down, and we have a handful of people that are using those services, not because necessarily that the services have been rejected by the people in the community, but more so that we've sent the message that we're getting out of the business. So it's another piece of something that we've lost in Herkimer County, but I'm pleased that there are other agencies to deliver those services. and hopefully they're going to be cost-effective and available to the seniors in our community or the people in our community that need these services. It's a chapter that's closing. Dr. O'Keefe's letter that was read in the beginning has a lot of proposals in it that expand beyond what's covered in resolution number 235. And we'll get to see unfold how our public health department will look differently with the closing of the child, closing of long-term care, the loss of the prenatal program, and other changes. It's a critical eye, should be, and hopefully is, on the public health department to be able to see what we'll be providing. I read with interest articles from other neighboring counties on what their efforts are in public health, and I think a lot of the problems that we've experienced are probably experienced in those areas too. So we need to remain vigilant. I'm going to vote for this. I would have liked a different outcome, but it is the cards that were dealt. There are people that are affected by this. There are staff that may well be losing their positions as a result of this. But voting against it won't reinstate a quality program. So I'll be voting for this. Thank you.
Anyone else debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Resolution passes. 236.
Human Resources, Ways and Means establishing position for public health.
This resolution establishes the position of Assistant Director of Public Health effective January 1st, 2013. May I have a motion? Mr. Russell, second. By Mr. Weekly. Any debate? Mrs. Rose.
I wish that the Human Resource Committee had, at the beginning of our meeting, had an opportunity to talk and inform the people perhaps in this room or those that might be listening to the tape with the concerned citizens of the broadcasting about the changes, creating this position for an Assistant Director of Public Health. I think there are people in our community who are saying, my gosh, a county of your size, you have a Director of Public Health, and now you're creating an Assistant Director. The letter that Mrs. Lalonde read from Dr. O'Keefe explained that we would be getting rid of, or excuse me, terminating a few titles. This is no doubt a cost savings over the salaries, but again, human beings and lives and jobs are affected by this. The tough decisions we have to make. Again, Public Health Department changes in Herkimer County, a county of 64,000 people with an Assistant Director of Public Health and a Director of Public Health may sound like a redundancy that we can't afford. I'm hoping that it brings us new opportunity, new director, new direction, and more concise management of the Public Health Department. I look forward to seeing the changes. Thank you.
Any other debate? All those in favor? It's roll call. Clerk will call the roll.
Weekly,
Yes.
Hartman,
No.
Rose,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Hyde,
Yes.
Brzezinski,
Yes.
Mano,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bono,
Yes.
Ackerman,
Yes.
Kaplinski,
Yes.
Force,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Shaw.
Resolution passes. Number 237.
County Planning and Development relative to reappointment of member of the Solid Waste Authority.
This resolution reappoints Kenneth A. Long for a 5-year term on the Oneida Herkimer Solid Waste Management Authority. May I have a motion? Mr. Hyde, second. By Mr. Johnson and Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution passes. 238.
Natural Resources endorsing Shenango County Board of Supervisors resolution for statewide strategic plan to grow milk.
This resolution endorses the Shenango County resolution and joins in the request that Governor Cuomo form a committee for a statewide strategic plan to grow milk supply in New York State. May I have a motion? Mr. Hyde, second by Mr. Kuplinski. Any debate? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution passes. Now go to comments by legislators. Any legislator wishing to speak at this time? Mr. Kuplinski.
First of all, I'd like to thank Ken Long for representing Herkimer County as ably as he has with the Oneida Herkimer County Solid Waste Authority. I guess his attendance has been excellent. He also serves on the Finance, Audit, and Governance Committees. I think he's an excellent representative for the county. And secondly, I'd like to invite everyone to the Herkimer County Family Day at the Farm. This is a free event. It's on this Saturday from 10 until 5, rain or shine, at the Raycliffe Farm on Snells Bush Road in Little Falls. It's a great event. Anyone that wants to come down and enjoy themselves, that's the place to go this Saturday.
I concur. I attended that last year and hope to make it this year. It's a great event, so if you get a chance, get out there. Anyone else? Entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Mann.
If there's no further business, I move that we adjourn to October 24th at 7:30 PM for our next meeting.
Second?